here's a little tip to improve your threading. So most people think of threads as pretty much at the shoulder. So you're touching your shoulder or your hip. So most people do threads at either the knees, shoulders and hips. So the shoulder you have like crawling up or coming down, okay? And then at the hips, obviously thread, 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 or you can come up like this, around the head threads, down. So this is like the basic way of threading that most people do it, or they'll do it at the knee. I see this one a lot. So pretty much knee threads, you could like step through. But pretty much you do have levels with threading. You can go hips, knees, and then even like feet. You know, so you can change the level of the thread a lot. Even on the ground, you can do like threads on the ground as well. Okay, so you have levels with threading: head, shoulders, hips, knees. I think you got it. Next thing with threads to make it a little bit more advanced is how can you connect, or where to connect. I think the elbows are really good at connecting. So if you follow this concept of connecting at the hips, shoulders, elbows, you can do stuff like this. Connect one hand at the shoulder, one hand at the elbow. So this is like a way of connecting, right? So you can always change points. Like this point's still touching, this is still touching. So we can like step through with one point, and now we still got this other point up here where we can like change it around a lot. And as long as we're still like touching, then we can still like, you know, keep threading in different ways. So this is almost like 2-point thread or a double thread, whatever you want to call it. I call it double threading, but even though you don't have to call it that. I don't think that's the proper name. But another example is if I go here, through, and now you have one thread here, and if I want to come through, what if I come through this leg? Now this is like a thread through a thread, right? So the legs being one thread, and then now we've created this other loop. Look, now we have like two threads, you know? So thread through a thread or a double thread. The next thing I want you to focus on is like trying to use your body a little bit more differently. Like I said, the elbows are really good, so let's focus on the elbows. If I was to put my hand behind my back like this is like a touching point or a point where we can connect to. So I could go like this, for example. Here, boom, thread through from behind, and I can just like touch my elbow like this, right? And now we have this connection point. And actually look behind me if I do this. I can come through and still like thread behind my back, right? Because my elbows are touching my hand. So this is the hard part. You go from elbow here, you have to try and touch your other elbow here. So we can change where the thread goes from in front and behind like this. We go here, boom, grabbed onto it. Okay, so we can move this around a lot, right? Now, I'm going to be using this concept a little bit differently. Try it with the knees, for example, like on the ground. If I was to go like maybe under here, for example. Cool? Then we can go here, touch the elbow, touch the shoulder. Okay, so now we can like thread through, or we could go maybe underneath, grab this, grab the knee, maybe thread through, grab this knee, thread through, you know. and then just like keep changing it up like that. So being able to like come underneath is pretty cool. You can do this with this hand. Try shoulder this time. So instead of grabbing the elbow like this, which you can do like that, and keep in mind that your shoulder can, your elbow can touch this knee, and then we can grab this like that. So we can do stuff like this, and then we can keep grabbing like that, okay? So we can grab here, boom. I can change the levels like this a little bit more. See how I'm going shoulder, elbow to elbow, 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 through the leg, elbow. And I'm not sure if you can see, but these are threads as well. So from the side, you can see elbow, elbow, boom. I'm still grabbing that elbow, right? So these are like still threading. It's just like a different way of doing it, but down here, okay? So we can try that. Yeah, so we'll try the shoulder this time. So you grab through, try to grab the shoulder this time now. And then like see where we can take it. If we can go here, maybe you can thread through there. Like it's a little bit difficult, but we can maybe go like head thread. Okay? Like that. Or we can put a hand on the ground, come through, grab the shoulder like this. Okay? So we can like do stuff like that, use the ground to our advantage where we can thread through. And then maybe you want to like do stuff like this. Grab the foot or grab the knee, thread through like this, grab the shoulder, and grab your own shoulder like that. You might want to grab hands down here, and now we have this loop where you can thread. So we can use this concept of reaching underneath to grab the elbow, shoulder, hand, like that. So that's another thing. We can come through like this, which is a little bit awkward, or we can come through like this. And this can connect to the shoulder, and then this foot, or this knee. So we can go shoulder, elbow, hand. We can go shoulder, knee, shoulder, foot. We can go elbow, knee, foot. And then you can change legs as well, okay? So just knowing like how you can thread a little bit more is pretty cool, right? So like this, for example, if I reach through, that's already a thread on its own because we're reaching underneath this leg, which is a loop. So that's a one thread. And we can also reach through like this. So we form this other gap here. And now we have this weird, awkward hand on the knee. But it only looks weird because you don't know what to do with it. Like, you could place your hand here and it's that same point I was talking about, right? You can touch, form a loop. Or you can go shoulder. Here, we can go one. Or we can go grab the back of the shoulder like this. So you can grab the back like this, ready? Back of the shoulder. And now we can thread through and connect that hand. And if you can like thread through it like this. Okay? So, knowing like, can you get your leg through here? You probably could. Like that. It's a little bit awkward, but you can definitely do it. So, you have these points, right? So, really use those points and see what you can come up with. It might not look clean at first, just while you're experimenting. But yeah, definitely give that a shot. Another way is you don't have to be on your knees all the time. You can do the same thing like down here. Okay, so I like to do this. I go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So you have these points here. You go 1, boom, boom, boom. See, if I go here, elbow, through. Ready? Elbow, through. There is a loop here, between my elbow and my body. I'm not sure if you can see it very well, but you can thread through here, right? So this is a thread. We can go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, boom. Maybe from here we want to use the other leg. So this is where it benefits us to not be on the ground, right? Because if we want to do this, we might want to grab the foot, bring it over, and create a thread here. Okay, so maybe we do that, and then we go like, I'm not sure if you can get your other foot up here, but if you could get this foot to grab these hands, then you could do another thread like that. Or if you could do it like this, some people can grab this foot like that, okay? Or they can do this, but a little bit higher, okay? I'm not very good at this thread, but this is pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, you can do this leg, okay? And we have different points here. We have this point, one thread. We have this point here, another thread. We can do, grab it with this hand instead and create these other points, right? So now we have this point here, we can even step through. So just knowing like how to move those points around a lot matters, and how to connect them in different ways. Because like I said, just having a hand on your body, you could just continue a trace away from here. We can go like thread, thread, boom, behind our back, trace this up here to the shoulder, and then get into a thread like that. We can be down here, one, maybe behind. Maybe you don't want to thread with this hand, maybe you just want to use it to trace, so you can go trace. You go here, boom, and then we can like use that to like kind of like trace a little bit more, okay? So we can connect tracing with the threads as well, just like that. So if you do find yourself like stuck in a position like, oh, dang, where do I go from here? Maybe just like try and trace with it, you know? Boom. Okay, so you can like thread through, trace up. So maybe I have to make a video on tracing, but yeah, it's a cool little idea you can do with tracing. Boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so yeah, work on that. Peace.